What's Spiderman here, and I'm back. Took a really long hiatus again right after I said I was gonna lock in and actually start pumping out hella videos in the big 2.6, but then life decided that wasn't gonna happen. Had a lot of stuff in personal life, and then pretty sure I got food poisoning, and stomach's just been in the gutter, and still a little in the gutter, but I feel like it's like the 20th, and I haven't made a video at all this year. Feel like I gotta lock in. And what better way to lock in than the figure I'll be reviewing today? This is the Marvel Legends Spider-Man 2099 from Spider-Man. I don't know. It's just it's 2099. It's like a did not do the setup well today. I got like a belt in the way. What the hell? Anyway, this has been a figure I have been wanting a new version of for literal years. I think this is the one figure I've wanted Hasbro to do a redo of for the longest, because it took me eons to even acquire that original 2099 figure, or this 2099. Eons. I saw it once in a Target back in like 2017, and I was like, I'll get him next time, and then I never saw him again. So when they did the re-release for this guy back in like 2021, 22, I was finally able to get him, and when I got him, I was like, wow, this figure is horridly outdated. So I've been wanting a brand new version of this guy for like 5+ years. Genuinely the one figure, because I love 2099. Dare I say, my favorite of the Spider-Verse Spider-Man. You can't really, it's hard to put him against Peter Parker. Peter Parker, he's the one you see the most. He's the predominant Spider-Man. 2099 doesn't get featured as much, but every time I see him, I'm like, ooh. Number one as my favorite Spider-Man design. It's just cool as hell. So, of course, I've been begging for an update, and when we got the Renew Val's body, I was like, it's time. It's time, Hasbro. And then they spent like 3 years waiting, but we finally got him. And, ooh, I love him. I did say in the last video, which came out in like the middle of December, that, oh, if I get 2099 before the end of the year, I might review them, and I did. And then I just didn't make the video. That's how long I've been sitting on this. But, oh. I kind of already gave away, but does he live up to the hype of years of waiting? Spoiler alert, yeah. But before we get into that, let's get into the packaging. What's this? The carded figure. I do like the carded ones. It's easier to store because you just cut the bubble off and toss it. And I just keep the card, but also genuinely boring design. I'm tired of seeing it now. It's not even interesting. It's same background. Cool little 2099 there. Spider DNA. What? What? Okay, Spider-Man. You'll never guess what this character's from. Little picture there. In the year 2099, a lab accident rewrites the genetic code of scientist Miguel O'Hara, turning him into Spider-Man. Then we see the rest of the figures from this wave, which I've never actually looked at, so I'm gonna peep this wave real quick. Take a drink of water. Got 2099, of course. Uncanny Spider-Man Nightcrawler. Didn't even know there's a thing that exists. I've seen a couple of these out in the wild. Did not know that's who he was. Spider-Venom. How is that different from Black Suit Spider-Man? Marvel's Owl? Okay. Hypno Hustler. Wasn't that rumored before the Sony verse went to hell? I mean, it went to hell quick, but like, wasn't there a rumored Hypno Hustler movie, or was that a joke? Genuinely wondering. And Cardiac. With all due respect, who the hell is Cardiac? I saw him in the store the other day, and I was like, genuinely, who? We gotta be hitting like D, E tier Spider-Man villains now at this point, right? Because I've not seen a single thing of Cardiac in my life. I'm a decent Spider-Man fan. Granted, I don't dive into comics and all that, but like, never heard this guy in my life. Granted, the only reason why I know Hypno Hustler is because that movie rumor, and Owl, that's Harry villain number 5. Anyway, let me know if I've just disrespected your favorite Spider-Man villain in the comments below. But yeah, bringing my goat in here and making it unable to stand him. Okay, there we go. Accessories, not a lot, but I think Hasbro's learning, because he comes with multiple hands and they both have sets. You got the claw hands, which are on him now, 2 fists, which are they're just fists, and then 2 wall crawling hands. Almost a Marvel, not Marvel. Hasbro's learning not to give 1 fist and 1 wall crawling hand. That's good, at least. As far as I know, Miguel don't be thwipping, so no thwip hand. But again, you do have the claw hands, which aren't as clawy as you'd hope. I feel like the original figure had clawier hands. Massive hands, I want to say, but clawier. But yeah, and the cape, which can I be real? I don't care for. I feel like the other, this looks buns, but I feel like just, I don't know, the fuller cape is cooler than this very tattered look. But luckily, you can take it off. That's usually how I do when I mess with them, because the cape kind of gets in the way. I like how I mentioned it and then didn't grab a figure that has the Renew Your Vows body. I, for some reason, can't find the original Renew Your Vows, because I'm going to make a comment about it in a second, but I need a comparison. So I guess it's going to be PlayStation Spidey that gets mentioned. Anyway, I feel like that was a good tangent to go into what I wanted to talk about, but I kind of wanted to save it for later. But we're going to talk about it, because it's also a good segue, because they remolded, at least this is mostly Renew Your Vows, but I swear to God they remolded something, because it's proportionally slightly different in a really good way. I think, man, if I can be quite honest, I think they just gave him new shoulders. But oh, what a difference, because one thing I will say about the Renew Your Vows body, really fun, really good. Shoulders, little tiny, and have this weird like sludge little thingy. It just, I don't know, doesn't look the greatest. And I saw a couple other figures, not under Renew Your Vows, but had the shoulder up higher and out further. I feel like it looked proportionally more correct, I think. But anyway, he has bigger shoulders, and I feel like they flow with the sculpt of the body better, and the sculpt of the body and the arms. Oh, the arms? The arms are new too. Well, duh. He's got like either whole new arms or arms taken from someone else, and I feel like them attached to Renew Your Vows body look better and more proportionate than these ones, because he's got a very bulky, muscular body, but I feel like these arms don't match the bulk of this body, and it looks a little off. Whereas a couple other figures on different bodies, this is the Amazing Fantasy and the the new big ultimate whatever extreme Spider-Man with a different head. Notice how it has a more like that, whereas it drops off harder on here. And this, whatever new mold or I don't know if it's a new mold or just arms they took, looks better, looks more proportionate, looks good. And in tune, just makes the figure look better because you gotta nail the body sculpt. Random pause, ignore that. I had a random itch on my arm. Anyway, you gotta nail the body sculpt because that's like 90% of what this figure is the body sculpt. There's not actual like sculpted detailing. It's just body with paint on it. So the body has to be good for the figure to be good. I said that sounded more like big brained in my head, and then when I said it out loud, I was just like, well, no, duh. The sculpt of the body of the figure has to be good or else the figure sucks. No, duh. Action figure 101 here. But you get my point. You get my point, I think. I feel like I was trying to go somewhere that in my mind was really smart. But either just my words weren't bringing me to the smart area, or it just came out and just, in reality, it was just a very generic, boring run-of-the-mill statement. I don't know. I feel like I've lost the plot a bit here. Let's get back to Miguel here, because, love this figure, because their New Val's body is already a really fun body to pose. I feel like, again, they, with like the added touch-ups and new sculpt details, I feel like they just brought it to another level. Getting in a closer look, the head sculpt, I really like. He's not as angry as this one, and some people might have a problem with that, the more angular look of this guy, and I do really like that, but I don't know, something about like the softness but still sharpness of these eyes I really like. And I guess it's just hard to mess up 2099's design. It looks so cool. Then again, that really cool spider logo on the torso looks great. And then the red down the arm with the arm spikes looks really cool, and the weird little arrow. Don't really know what that is. My only problem with 2099 is that he doesn't have a lot going on. It's like, it's literally just the cool spider and that's it. That's one thing I will applaud the movie. They tried to give a bit more detail throughout different areas. Like, we threw in some red down here. We have a little bit of a back design for like a back spider. I applaud them for doing that because, yeah, it's just like mostly just blue. Was I zoomed in that whole time? Oh my god. Yeah, now I feel like I look stupid because I probably just brought him in. Anyway, I don't know if you saw that, but the details on this guy. But again, it's just 2099 just has such a hard design. And he's from the future too. Oh my god, it's my goat. I love him so much. And I'm so glad this figure doesn't suck. Granted, Marvel Legends has been nailing it recently. I feel like most figures have been pretty solid. And even the more subpar ones still completely sweep figures from like 10 years ago. But like, man, I'm glad they nailed it here. It'd be really interesting and cool to get like one of the Maximum series. Are they still even doing that? I feel like they made 2 and then stopped. But Actually, now I think of it, why would they make a maximum series of him? I can't think of how much more they could do with him. Anyway, I've lost the plot again. Articulation, he has a... Is that dumbbell? Dumbbell joint at the head. Sadly, although he can get decent movement. I prefer ball hinge for Spider-Man characters or characters that fly, but you still get a good range. Arm rotates, hinges out that far. Got the butterfly, and of course, painted on the inside looks great. Bicep, double jointed elbow, rotation hinge in and out. Diaphragm ab crunch, so you can get that far back and that far forward. And since it's the linear valves, it actually articulates well. Because some of them, man, that diaphragm won't move and the ab crunch will move like an inch forward. And then it's just like, what's the point? And then, of course, you can rotate it and all that. Drop down legs can kick forward, back. Not too much because, cake. Then you can do pretty decent splits, but whenever you bring it down, you gotta remember to push it back up or else it just sits awkwardly. Cape's coming off. Thigh rotation, double jointed knee, boot cut, up and down, rocker, and a toe joint. Still don't care that much about the toe joints. I feel like they're a little annoying, at least in my opinion. I don't, but they're still cool. Anyway, getting him to stand. Oddly hard to stand. I think it's because of the cape. Anyway, comparison time. Here he is next to a Black Series and a Transformers. Here he is next to, not the previous review, but one of the previous ones. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Another, oh, there he goes. Another figure that I was wanting a remake of for the longest time, and we finally got recently. And Studio Series 86 Megatron. Look at that. Why the hell would any of these characters be in the same shot together? And for some bigger boys, here he is next to the McFarlane DC Superman and the NECA Pennywise. Might swap out the Master Chief for a NECA figure. I feel like more people get NECA than they do the Halo figures, and that'd be a better comparison, and also because Pennywise. And for some more fun comparisons, here he is next to the recent question mark. I have no grasp of time anymore. Miles Morales, and not recent Gwen Stacy. Not Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen, what I meant to say. Come on, Miguel. Need an updated version of her. That'd be amazing. Also need a new Miles, because this one kind of buns. Here he is next to that previously mentioned I want to say Maximum Series, I forget. Spider-Man with a different head because I prefer the rounder head. And finally, not finally. You know what? I messed it up, but you know what? Here he is next to the Figure Arts 2099 from Into the Spider-Verse, because the Marvel Legends is buns, and I don't know where it is anymore, and I don't care to find it, and we're not even in focus. Now, finally, here he is next to the previous Marvel Legends 2099, and this 2099, I forget exactly what this suit is called. Is it Iron 2099 suit? I don't know. I forget. The white one. They look really cool together. And one thing that was kind of jarring at first, but you know what, I've come around to it, is the blue. This is very dull, darker blue, and he's got a very richer, brighter blue, which I do really like. But yeah, I love this guy. Because, I mean, it's Is there near Val's mold? Mentioned. Another random pause. Ignore that. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Something about chaotic first video back. Anyway, I mean, it's on there near Val's body, so of course I'm gonna have a blast with it. But I really like it. I don't know the online consensus on the figure. I've kind of stopped ironically, I've kind of stopped watching a lot of action figure reviews, so I don't know the general consensus on it. But you know what? Almost said a statement which kind of just would make my existence irrelevant. I was just like, I don't feel like I should be letting these people's opinions guide my way of these figures. I want to see for myself. In the middle of making a review, giving my opinion on an action figure. Don't know where we go from here, but I don't let yeah, there's no way I can word this where I don't just rip on my whole channel's existence. But, you know, I don't keep up with the community's thoughts on a lot of figures. I know a lot of people be ripping on a lot of them, even ones I think are good, so I don't know the consensus on this guy, but at least in my opinion, I really like him. Solid 8-9 out of 10. Can't really think of what I'd change about him beyond the cape. But again, you could just take that off. And then, hey, a train. Every video, swear to God. I'm gonna attempt to record another one after this. Bet you the train's gonna be there. And I'll be like, why we run in 2 trains like 10 minutes apart? Anyway. I'm just gonna try to bring the card back, but I had trouble standing it up last time. Never mind. Anyway, do I recommend this figure? Absolutely. If you're a fan of 2099, get it. I think it's great. Black looks great, feels great, poses great. They absolutely knocked it out of the park. Absolute cinema. If I'm a little between on whether or not I want to do a top 10 figures of the year, purely because I feel like it's a little too deep into the year. That's something you do at like the end of or at the end of the year, or at the very beginning of the month, and we're at like the end of the month. I feel like it's not good, and there's a couple videos I want to make and get out before I would do something like that. And also because then I would have to make a top 10 list, and I genuinely don't remember the figures I bought this year. But just know he was gonna be on top of it. Not on top of it. He's gonna be in it. And pretty high, probably. I really like him. Maybe he would be on top. I don't know. That's the problem now. I don't really know what my favorite figure would even be. Because again, I don't even remember what figures I got. Because I'd be like, this figure, right? And then it wasn't. I'd be like, this figure, and then it's a figure that was in last year's top 10. But you know, I feel like I gotta do it out tradition. It might be hella delayed, but expect that soon. But the next video, at least I'm recording, the next video I'm recording after this will be on this Iron Man. It's gonna be very exciting because I have a lot of thoughts to share on that guy. But yeah, hopefully you had a wonderful Christmas, a wonderful New Year. Hopefully your New Year's going well. Mine started out rocky. Getting better. I feel like it's gonna lock in. We got hey, for all you Arctic Monkeys fans out there, heard there's a new song dropping this week. Granted, I think it's just a one-off thing, maybe even an old B-side for like this War Child project, but still exciting. It's the first song release since I became a fan, so it's pretty exciting. Also heard we're getting the Spiderman trailer, brand new day trailer this week as well. It's gonna be hype. Anyway, hopefully you guys are doing alright. I know I said this last video and then I took like a month and a half long break, but I'm gonna try to lock in with the videos. I got a couple figures that I'm excited to review, and then there's a couple figures coming up, which I can hopefully find soon, which will be fun and exciting to review. So yeah, that's about it. I've kept y'all long enough. Highly recommend this figure. Like, subscribe, check out my previous reviews. And that's about it. Peace.